Howdy guys, I'm Apollo8, your favorite wolf girl enthusiast, and welcome back to Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones Fanged. Today it's time for, something a little bit different, it looks like. A very interesting episode this time. It's gonna be highly different from the usual. You could consider this one something of a, impromptu type goofy episode. We're going to be doing some stuff today, and I'm going to be explaining a lot of the concepts. Sorry for messing with the mic, that I'm going to be working with as we go forward for the rest of this game. So those of you that watched the last episode, you may know that we're at something of a crossroads. The crossroads being that we're leaving Ford dead and we're going on to Phantom Ship next. Or at least that's what I thought, right? That's what I was thinking. And then something happened. Something amazing happened. I will go ahead and show you. I received a wonderful comment from the one and only 17, which says, train Ford to 20. If his stats and promo gains are lacking, drop him. Train Amelia instead. Promote her and support with Ducell. I will leave it to you to decide how much of this is a joke. And then, of course, the video progresses, and presumably 17 finds out what happens. So, but that said, I found this to be incredibly funny. I've been thinking about this for like the past 2 days or so at work. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to train Ford up to 20, and I'm going to train Amelia up to 20. I'm going to train them both this episode. This is the competition episode. So we're going to go get some supplies and whatnot. I'm going to be dumping a lot of money in doing this, but hey, that's part of the glory and the fun of this game. You can do a lot of goofy, wacky things, and remember, this is just a run for my personal enjoyment, so in terms of how, like, tainted or whatever the run may be, I don't really care. I'm just going to have fun with it, so I'm going to go ahead and sell these. These little items I get from the Randomizer, get a bunch of money from it. Amelia can promote anyway without the trainee seal. And I'm going to buy a bunch of Iron Lances here in the Eyed Armory, my favorite armory. And we're going to do this. We're going to go the full mile. We're going to enjoy a bit of meme. And in doing this, I'm going to explain some of what I'm going for, I think. Because if Amelia's better by the end of this episode, the entire trajectory of the run changes. And if Ford is better, then I'll replay the Ducell map, essentially. I mean, I'm going to have to replay it anyway, since I'm now using this save file, but you get the idea. I'm going to we're going to play around with it, and we're going to see how this looks. So we're going to be bringing both of them. I'm not going to bring their support partners because, well, we don't have Ducell, first of all. That's one thing. We don't have Ducell, and depending on how we fare, it's gonna get weird. I'm gonna go ahead and bring Molder. We'll still promote him. I'll just let him have heal experience this way. Speaking of, on that note, let's go ahead and bring up the question of the day. This is the last one in this particular series of, sort of, I don't know how you'd say it, almost samey question of the days. Who do you think is going to be my S rank in terms of staves? The writing may be on the wall with this one, I'm not going to lie to you. It may just be pretty obvious at this point, but regardless of whether or not it is, this is what we're rolling with for now. I'm also going to be needing Molder, because as a bishop, he can handle enemies like this. I haven't explained this yet. But the end point of this run is not defeating the Demon King. The end point of this run is Tower completion at least once, and Lagdo Ruins completion at least once. And I'm thinking that the Tower of Olney completion will be a mega episode, like 2 to 3 hour mega episode. And then we'll tackle the Lagdo Ruins one map at a time until we get to the end. Because this is a level 5. This is a level 5 promoted unit. 66 HP. 23 attack. 16 speed. I might honestly need to bring another unit just for the sake of keeping myself alive. So I guess I'll bring Seth as that intermediary. I don't intend to get a bunch of experience with them. Obviously, this guy, he goes unchanged, and he's a guaranteed level up for anyone that kills him. So that's my dude right there to mess around with. But first of all, I'll go ahead and take the question of the day down. Please do leave your answer to that below. This is going to be a bit of a playground episode. We're going to see what we can do. Obviously, these guys still destroy Amelia. I mean, she is losing 2 speed to Iron Lances, so she's at 2 speed. These guys will hurt her very, very badly. So, as long as they don't have 6 speed, I think, they can't double her. And I'm essentially willing to stand here like this, wall it up, and then trade Seth's stuff off of him in exchange for Molder's stuff for now. And we're gonna see what happens. Luckily, we spec'd into a round that has no reinforcements, or not reinforcements, ranged attacks. So she's just gotta not get crit, essentially. She might level to 10 just off of like 2 of these guys. And again, like I said, she just has to not get crit all the while. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn animations off. This is gonna be a relatively long one. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of... See, this is hard, actually, because if I give him his stuff back, he can suddenly... Let's do it like this. You trade over an Iron Sword. Just like that. I have to heal Amelia this turn, so we will trade back. I hate to leave Seth with anything, really. Let's do... How do we do this, exactly? Maybe if I trade the... heal staff over to her. Hold on, did I play myself? I might have played myself. No, we can do this. We can trade this over to you, then trade you between these two. Okay, and then that'll get me this for you, and you can have the javelin. I don't really mind. Okay, alright. So, again, we kind of just have to... Is he already? No, that was A rank. Okay, yeah. We kind of just have to survive. I didn't bring support partners. I didn't do much of anything in that regard. I'm gonna try to essentially let Seth kill the big guy once he inevitably comes down here to attack. This Molder with the Evil Eye is doing pretty good, but he's not doing quite well enough. And then if Ford gets attacked by the big dude, then he dies. So we can laugh about that when the time comes. Go ahead and trade this Vulnerary over. Well, no, I won't either. Well, Ford, we might be having some issues. I'll just have to back up into this corridor eventually. That's what I'm gonna wind up having to do. Good old tower grinding. How long has it been since you've seen a tower grinding episode? I mean, it's theoretically possible. Oof. Don't do this to me, Ford. Don't crit this one. Okay, good. Very, very good. Okay, good. Awesome. Now, he's probably hitting Seth for a lot of damage. 35 attack. He's hitting Seth for 20 HP. Okay, but yeah, we are going to have to back up into this corner now. I will let Seth bait this guy around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, you can only move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, you right here. Okay, and then the rest of us will back up, and we will get Amelia her levels first. You've got 8 speed. Rough. Very rough. Let's see. Because you've got 5 move. Well, then we're gonna have to do this. Like I said, we're just having fun here. A little bit of sandboxing, as it would be. That should be fine. Well, we're gonna have to do it like this, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to there. So, yep. We will see how this goes. Hit Seth for 20 HP. Alright, well in this case what I'll do then is I'll heal up. I'll heal up Ford first and foremost, put him here. See, this is no walk in the park either. The tower grinding is rough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attack to here. Okay, so we should be able to keep this guy backed up for a little while. You've got to go here. I guess we can throw javelin with her. Not really a big deal. Any little bit of experience. I could have certainly made this easier on myself, but I have done no such thing. They have formed up into the ultimate formation. Ouchie. Do you die to 1? It's 11% chance that you crit or get crit. Well, in this case, I kind of have to deal with the situation behind me as well. So this is the part where we get Seth over here, and he's just gonna help us out a little bit. Let's see. Brain empty. I'm pretty much just gonna have to hope I don't get crit here, I think. So, and I'm gonna have to hope I don't get a crit either. So we'll do this. I'll put Amelia right here. And now I'll let Mulder kill this one, that's fine. Okay, cool. Got the crit RN out of the way. Okay, good. Now, what's Ford gonna get? Not an awful level up. He's the 9-man. All except for his strength, evidently. So we have to kill this one first and foremost. Because he is an issue. And then after that, I can let Amelia do her thing. We just essentially have to not destroy ourselves in the pursuit of destroying this guy. Doesn't really matter if Amelia crits or anything, as long as she survives and she doesn't get crit. Her supports are versatile. One thing that's great about this game in general and about Amelia is that her supports, all the units' supports in this game are so cool. Like, there are so many things that you can do in this game that no other game really allows you to do. Part of it is because you have the sort of the after story part of the game. And part of it is just because the potential support lines are just so cool. Again, we kind of just have to hope we don't get crit here on loop for a while. See, this is, you might be feeling in some sort of way like this is unfair. Like, of course, Amelia is going to be better than Ford because he's already a level 10 Cavalier with no stats above 10. And then there's Amelia, who's going to get 8 more levels to grow and then 10 more levels on top of that just to equal out to where he's at. And, like, statistically, she should rise above him. But we'll see. You know, we like a good underdog story. And, let me tell you, Ford is the underdog. Most assuredly, he is the underdog. As long as we don't get crits, I'm going to be saying that a lot, we'll kind of speed through this. Because we really are just hinging on don't get crit lol. I did well, didn't I? No. Oh, okay. Does Mulder die too? He does. Okay. Alrighty, okay, well, here's what we're gonna do then. I'm going to just go ahead and we're going to... See, I don't even know how to construct this episode, really, because this is a weird one. I think what I'll do is, over the course of the next training arc session here, I'm going to work on explaining concepts and things that I'm going to go through, and reasons and whatnot as to why I'm doing this, because that's what I meant to get into like 10 minutes ago, but you know, things happen and whatnot. First, let's instead spec into javelins, get 1 iron lance, 1 slim lance, so she's not weighed down. And then we will talk about builds. We'll talk about things that we're trying to accomplish here, because I think at this point, those of you who are here and who have watched this much of this episode and some of other episodes, you've kind of got insider privilege, if that makes sense. I'm gonna let you have more information than I let on at the beginning of the series. So essentially what we're doing here is okay, so here's the big reveal. Here's the big reveal all along. And in all honesty, if you guys will just tell me in the comments what you kind of want to see, I guess this was a good litmus test, you know. filter out those who don't really want to watch in the first few minutes of the first little bit of the training arc. Anyway, now that you're here, I've been building my playthrough around the fact that I want to use the triangle attack seriously. It's a legitimately good strategy in this particular playthrough, and I can say this from experience because I've done this type of run, I want to say like at least 2 or 3 times. I really like playing this way. Really high enemy stats, really high crit rate. So essentially what we're going for, right, is that I want to use the triangle attack. And the way that I'm doing that, right, is I'm using Ford to support Vanessa. Then Vanessa goes on to support Mulder and Ford, right? Okay, so then you get Kyle. Kyle comes into play supporting Loot, so you've got a healer following them around, and then he's going to go on to support Cyrene. Cyrene is going to support with Tana, who herself is a Pegasus Knight, and then Tana gets Ephraim because it is a good idea to have the convoy available, you know, in the post-game and whatnot. So then you're walking around, Tana, Cyrene, Vanessa, Kyle, Ford, Ephraim, and then I just bring Garcia and naming. That way you've got good sword access, good axe access, a bow user, so on and so forth. That said, we could flip this on its head, completely and entirely. And it would slightly make my deployments easier on me here or there, because as time goes on in the Lagdo Ruins, and towards the end of the game, you're more or less, well, I'm just going to speak as if it's on the Lagdo Ruins primarily. As time goes on, you're kind of constricted with your deployments. You have, generally speaking, 8 deployments for each map. A little bit of variance, but, you know, not meaningfully. So you kind of wind up in a situation where sometimes you want to bench one person in favor of another. Obviously, Natasha and Mulder as bishops. Spoilers on what Natasha's going to become, I suppose. They're highly valuable. Of course they are, because they're your bishops. They're effective against every single enemy on the map. You know, really good in that regard. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the map really quickly. I'm kind of dragging on a little bit. Let me just quickly, so I want Garcia here to help with the wall, Seth to help with the wall, Natasha to help with just kind of healing and keeping people topped off. I need to buy a couple of heal staves, because it does seem like I'm going to need 2 of those at the very least. 2 healing people. Okay, so there's that. But essentially what we're getting into is an interesting set of circumstances. A lot of unclaimed ground, unwalked territory, so to say. We're going to have a lot of units doing a lot of different things, and I'm kind of very interested in seeing how all that goes. And if Amelia turns out to be very good, I can literally flip the entire trajectory of the run on its head. I would essentially be axing the triangle attack, more or less, from my entire playthrough. And for those of you that like Vanessa, that could be a good thing, right? Because then she doesn't wind up becoming a Falcon Knight. She'll instead just become a Wyvern Knight and just a solid carry unit, you know, as she probably should be in an ordinary run. So Seth here, Garcia here, you in range of that, and Amelia at the front with Iron Lance up. We will first work on getting her to level 10, and I will turn animations back off as well. Garcia is going to get a bunch of chip experience off of all this. I really, really, really need you to not be an issue. So what we're going to do, I'm going to move Mulder up, Evil Eye this guy to death, Bob. And then I'm going to trade Evil Eye off of Mulder temporarily. And we will turn animations off. Anyway, if we wind up using Amelia, we're then going to be using... Do you have Fetid Claw, or is she just bad? Wow. She literally just gets one shot. Wow. Well. Is there any way that we kill I guess we just back off for a turn then. Anyway, like I said, we're just seeing how people level and stuff. The easiest way for me to do this, in all honesty, is to essentially turn this on its head and just start using cheat codes to level people up fast, but I'm not going to go with all that. Okay, so let's move you back. Move Natasha back. Put Seth right here with Amelia behind. Okay, and then Ford can go over here with Mulder. And essentially whatever happens here is what we'll roll with. Amelia can indefinitely beat up on him with javelins. And that'll be my play for a bit. So, I hope that I mostly got the point across. If we use Amelia, we're also going to be using Ducel, and then Ducel's going to get the Ephraim support instead of Ford. We will wind up killing Ford off, or more likely than not, I will just delete his supports. I'll go back through and take them off of him through means that are not necessarily part of the game's mechanics. But essentially, if we wind up using Amelia, then we wind up using Ducel. And Ducel, so Amelia winds up then supporting Ducel and Ross. Okay, and if we use Ross, we're also then going to be using Garrick. We're going to be supporting Ross with Garrick and Amelia. Then if we use Garrick, then we're using Sally, because Sally's a good support for Garrick. Okay, let's not get killed here, Ford. No need to show off, right? Thank you. So then if we use Sally, then we're using Garrick, and if we use Garrick, Sally, then we're then going to add on Ewan. And so we're going to be swapping out a great majority of our roster. The only ones who will stay part of the roster, decidedly, are Garcia, Naomi, Seth, and I think Natasha as well. Mulder and Vanessa kind of become backdrop pieces, but they're still going to be very valuable, very good. You can't go wrong with them in any way. So let's back up big time with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. So we would essentially be shifting the entire roster around. We'll be using a whole bunch of people that we did not intend to use before, or that perhaps would not have been expected. Okay, that's fine. Got strength this time. Okay, Amelia. She also got strength. So we'll see which one becomes better. And, you know, at the end of this particular session and whatnot, I want you guys to let me know what you expect to see or what you'd like to see. I'll get them both up to 20. There's probably going to be, at some point, a level up montage like I did with Natasha and Mulder. Because at a certain point, I don't have much to say except I hope I don't get crit lol. And we see how we level from there. But if we do wind up keeping Ford, then we keep Kyle, we keep using Tana. We'll use essentially a bunch of different stuff in a bunch of different ways, contrary to how we have been going about it. Deployment's going to be weird either way, so I'm going to have to kind of play the game of who's the better deploy a lot of the time. Because a lot of the time, my units towards the end are going to have to just kind of deal with the fact that they've only got one of their support partners around for this or that. If I had planned a little bit more in advance, thinking that I was not going to be going for the triangle attack strat, and instead going for this super wacky alternate world, which I didn't expect, in all honesty, because I really like using triangle attack. If I expected this was going to be the outcome, then I would have left Amelia, I would have left Naomi's second slot open, not used Colm, and instead just used Amelia. And then I would have kept Tana and given her the B support with, well, maybe the A support with Marissa, and then we would have went from there and saw what would have happened. One thing that you may distinctly notice is that we're really not using the Dancer in this playthrough. It's partially because we don't have deployment, and partially because despite how good it is to have a Dancer who can make your best, most valuable unit move again, I'm not playing in a way where I have a most valuable unit. I'm playing in a way where all of my units have intrinsic value. And the thing with Tethys that's a bit unfortunate is that she doesn't really fit into any support comps that I really want to use. So I don't really want to use Garrick, to be honest with you, but I will use him if, you know, essentially the situation arises. And, I mean, he is good. There's no getting around that. He's a very strong unit. Let's go ahead and back this up as well, because I need to have you here, Garcia towards the back for the support, and then that way I can heal Seth whenever inevitably this guy comes and starts beating him up. Anyway. I'm gonna have essentially tremendous amounts of options. There's a part of me that wanted to leave certain other things open, like the potential of using Dozla as an example, because he supports both Ewan and Garcia, which, funnily enough, so does Ross. And technically speaking, Ross is better anyway. But the nice thing about Dozla is that he, like, kind of low-key has good growths. You don't see him used that much. His constitution's pretty high, and he has, notably the Thunder Affinity, which is going to give, a little bit of crit avoid and a little bit of defense, where Ross does not. That's actually why we're going so heavy into Thunder Affinity Ross supports if we do decide to use him. That's why Amelia and Garrick are both going to go into him, because it still gets him full crit from Thunder Fire, since both of those... This may just sound like gibberish to those of you who don't know the supports like off the top of your head like I do, but yeah, there's tons and tons and tons of options. Like, this is my favorite game for a reason. I could completely geek out about this game for hours and hours. There's no question about that. We just have infinite potential here. I've mapped out so many different ways that we could have done this playthrough. And I'm completely, honestly, at this point, even fine with restarting it if I have to and getting the support combos that I truly want, as long as the end game's going to be worth it. But if we do this, we'll stick with it, and we'll just deal with what we got. Javelin breaks, she's almost level 10. And the rest of it can go to Ford after she gets the level 10. She's not bad. I mean, she's not getting as much speed as I would like. She's kind of missed a lot of speed level ups. But she is already as strong as Ford. And she's gonna get promo gains, and she's already got 7 defense. And another thing that's gonna be going on, I should probably talk about some of the promotion pathways that I'm thinking about going with. So if we go through with using Amelia, and we go through with using Ross, and we go through with using Garrick, and so on and so forth, the strat then becomes, and this is going to sound so dumb, Ross Pirate, so he gets that 1 point of speed from the promotion. Then, Ross goes Warrior, and we focus bows. Additionally, at that point, Garrick promotes Ranger, we focus bows. In a run with high crit, high attack on our units, bows values increase tremendously, at the very least notably. The nice thing about... We're gonna deal damage? Cool. Yeah, it's gonna skyrocket us to the next level. The nice thing about bows is that we have the option of the longbow. Ordinarily not incredibly broken, a pretty decent pick a lot of the time, but not broken or even, you know, great by ordinary means. This is also going to be slightly funny. Ford might level 220 off this one Entombed. Okay, I gotta make sure I heal up Seth properly, though. Okay, good. Very, very good. Yeah. So, let's just see what happens with all this. Essentially unlimited options await me, and I'm very eager to get into that and see what happens. Okay, so I guess what I'm going to do then is, since we're at this sort of crossroad in a sense, we're going to place Ford down here, and we're going to roll with this, and we're going to see what his level ups become, because we're going to be here for a while. So I will montage the level ups that he gets, because he might hit 20 off this one single dude. Let's see how much experience he gets off a single hit, if we can ever get a hit. My gatekeeping point is going to be how many heal staves do I have. So, anyway. Let me know what you think about all of this stuff. Maybe I'm a little bit overzealous in doing all of this as it is, but I think it's fun. Oh, another thing I was going to say. Amelia or Ford, whoever we're keeping, is going Great Knight. For sure. And it's not necessarily that it's good. It's just that I want to use them as a Great Knight. I still think that... I think there's an argument for Ford to go Great Knight ordinarily, just off of the class gains and, you know, the end point that he could theoretically achieve with that. I mean, there's the smallest chance Amelia goes Paladin. There's the smallest chance she does. And I'll save that. I'll save the final promotion for the next episode. We'll see how it goes, essentially. Because I'm going to take her into Cavalier to begin with, if for no other reason than to start farming sword rank a little bit so she can use steel swords, because, you know, axe enemies later on, we're going to be winding up needing some of them defeated through alternate means. I don't know, there's just tons of ways to do all this. So anyway, yeah, I'm getting in over my head. A lot of this probably sounded like gibberish to some capacity. I'm probably not finishing a lot of thoughts. Do let me know if I am doing that in the comments, because I will answer any questions you've got, with the exception of who are going to be my S-rank units, because I still think that's a fun one to keep hidden until we finally start getting them up to rank and stuff. The fun thing about all of this strat stuff is that if we use Ewan, he's actually unironically going Summoner. And then from there, we probably won't be using Noel anymore, which, you know, maybe that was going to be a surprise or something. But we're going to use an S-rank dark magic user, right? And I don't have a lot of options for that, so it was either going to be Noel or Ewan, and I didn't plan to use Ewan initially. But now I might have to. So I'll catch you at the end of the montage. Do let me know what you think about all this stuff. Yeah, this is going to be a really hard choice between which of these two units is better, I think. Let's see. Ford did pretty good. He gained strength like 4 times. Since in 13 levels he gained about 4 strength, yeah, and you know, he gained about 5 speed. I want to say it's either 5 or 6 speed in 13 levels, which, you know, considering his growth rates, makes sense and everything. They're pretty close to 50-50, but you can't win them all, right? And it's not like Amelia's growth rates are really much better. I mean, if you look at it, Ford actually has more strength, more speed. She's got a little bit more defense. She got more luck, which, you know, that's not all too relevant of a stat. She's even got only 15 res. You know, she's not really doing too good in the growth rate, so... you know, in terms of the level ups that she could have gotten, I could have never imagined this. This is absolutely insane. I've never had an Amelia this good. 17, whoop, my mic fell over, I'm sorry. 17 strength, half speed, 15 defense on a 30% growth with 15% res growth, and she got 10. I don't know what to tell you. They're not even comparable. She beats him in every single stat except for HP. They have the same constitution, and she's, of course, bopped by being a female cavalier. She beats him in every single stat. I don't even know what to tell you. We're using her. We've got to now, right? It's literally mandatory. Oh, also, I got a longbow from one of the enemies in the last map, so that's kind of cool. It's actually going to be pretty helpful for the upcoming map, but, yep. She's level 20. She really did it. She really did it. So, I'm going to now save, for sure. And let's see. I guess I'll take a short break while I consider my possibilities now. So, it has been an entire hour or so of deliberation. And I have reached my conclusion. So what I'm going to do here, just go ahead and enter this, make sure there's no cool items to get. Retreat. Okay. So what I'm going to do is this one right here, this top save up here, is going to henceforth be my main save. We're going to roll with that. That's what we're going to do. So. Ford lost the competition. So I'm going to kill him off good and proper, the way I should have a while ago. In addition to that, I have completely rerouted my support structures for this game, for this playthrough of this game. And doing so means that I have to kill off 2 units. Those 2 units are going to wind up being Seth and Colm. Now, that's a bit unfortunate, of course. For its own reasons, it's unfortunate. But we're going to roll with it. We're going to go with it. We're going to see what happens. That is going to be effectively my punishment, so to say, for turning back the clock and rolling through all of this with the memes and whatnot. This is going to be a heck of an episode at it, I can tell you that right now. Anyway, I think the way I'm going to do this is I haven't decided yet if I want to montage up a couple more units, because we are now using Ross, and I do need to get him up to speed now. I'm considering the possibility of montaging up all of Garcia, Naomi, Ross, and that would be it. Garcia, Naomi, and Ross. So yeah, I'm going to be killing off Colm because I need his support slots open. He takes up too many that I need, and it would be really nice to keep him for a lot of reasons. For a lot of reasons, actually. Maybe low-key I hold on to him for a couple more maps, just long enough to steal that speed wing. Because there is a speed wing that I can steal later on, and I do need that very badly. So maybe I hold on to Colm and Mulder, their support and stuff, long enough that I can kind of just do my thing. Also, he got up to S rank saves. That was kind of cool and everything. No surprise there, of course. Funny that I actually asked that question of the day in this one. He gets S rank saves, and then the answer to the question changed. So I hope you look forward to figuring out who the new one's going to be, because at this point it can be any magic unit, as well as Natasha. But I mean, well, I still haven't, like, concreted my one. But anyway, hold on to Colm for a little bit. I'll go ahead and kill off Seth. Should I? Kinda eats me a little bit to do that at the moment. Let's see. Maybe I hold on to Seth for one more chapter. Well, either way, Ford dies. He's not surviving to the end of the run. So we'll just go in here with him. You can have the blood sacrifice of Ford. At least. Well, actually, I'm gonna have to replay the upcoming map anyway, aren't I? So why don't we just go ahead and do that? I'll just replay the map right here, and maybe either cut through an overview or just kind of go quickly. I don't know. Either way, I've got to train up Ross now. Ross, I'm gonna go ahead and get Garcia to 20 because it's gonna be way more convenient. This is such a scuffed run at this point, but I'm having a great time with it still. You know I'm having fun whenever I spend an entire hour and like 15 minutes in deliberation over what I'm doing. So I'm gonna get Ross Garcia, and man, I wish he had leveled just a bit better, but he's not doing bad on speed. Like I said, I'm going Pirate Ross for the 1 point of speed on promo, then promoting him to Warrior after that, because I've got the Ocean Seal. The reason I was considering also giving Naomi her promotion is because I've got the Orion's Bolt. Funnily enough, I could also give it to Vanessa, but I don't think I'm using Vanessa anymore. I think I might go ahead and just level Tana up. I hate to see Vanessa go, but it's a sacrifice of the, what's it called? The thingy course. The triangle attack no longer being a thing. I'm going to temporarily use Tana. Just long enough to, you know, do all that I need to do. So, I think that what we'll do is we will solidly do a little training montage with all of these units, getting them up to speed, getting their promotions, and rolling with it. Tana's not going to be a long-term unit, but she is going to be good enough for the upcoming chapter. So, and don't worry, as you've seen, the enemies are going to get ridiculous. I worry that in the end game, even with all these boons that I have advantaging me right now, I'm probably not going to be able to clear the final chapter, well, the chapter before the final chapter, without like 2 or 3 big, like, sweeping things occurring. So, training montage. Finally, at the end of all of that, you probably noticed I just bumped up the experience a little bit through alternate means, so our weapon ranks are going to keep us held down for a while. Between Tana, Ross, and Naomi, they could certainly have better weapon ranks, and I will take that punishment. That'll be my thing for playing this way that I want to. Ross is quite approximately the luckiest boy in the entire world, with his 24 luck. I don't think I've ever seen it that high prior to promotion before, but that's pretty cool. He will cap it at this rate. So that's what we're gonna be rolling with. We're gonna be rolling with this crew. I have got some new surprises in store for the upcoming portion of the game. To those of you that didn't want me to do this, I apologize. But maybe you'll enjoy the Dream of 5 playthrough, because that one's entirely untainted. But sometimes you just gotta treat Fire Emblem like it's a sandbox game, you know, and enjoy your time with it. Nothing wrong with doing stuff like this. And it's not going to take away the challenge. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. It's really, really not going to. Ross is doing great. Cap strength, 14 speed is impressive. Garcia is doing pretty good. Got a couple extra points of speed. I will go ahead and give out the speed wing to him, because that is a big one. That's part of the reason I almost went Erica route. Likewise, I'll be keeping Colm just long enough to get the other speed wing to give to Garcia. I will go ahead and give the secret book, I think, over to Ross, because his supports are not going to give him any hit rate. So he's going to need all of the skill and luck he can get with regard to that. So that'll be very handy. In terms of HP, I'm going to give the Angelic Robe over to Naomi. I think she makes very good use of it. Let's see, Let's see, should I do that actually? How's Natasha doing? It's an interesting case, isn't it? Who else am I using again? I'm gonna have to reacquaint my mind with how I'm going about this. Okay. I'll hold on to the Angelic Robe for a little bit. I will keep it in the back. But let's see. As for the Energy Ring, I'm pretty sure I can freely give that one to Naomi. She should be the prime candidate for that one, so she can have that one. She did pretty good on defense and res as well, so I'm not too worried about her. I might honestly go ahead and give the Angelic Robe to Natasha, because I do think I want to use her long term at this point, because as unfortunate as it is, part of my punishment as well is that Mulder is going to be running away with my guiding ring that I didn't really want to give to him after everything was said and done. But one simple Amelia is all that it takes to meme up the waters a little bit. I think I've decided on my promotion paths for everybody. Let's see. But I think you'll have to wait for the next episode to see where that one goes. Rest in peace, Vanessa, you were a real one. Rest in peace, Mulder, you were awesome. Rest in peace, Ford. You know what, blood for the blood god. He lost the competition, and so, to that end, Ford is not going to make it, and who's going to watch him suffer? There we go. Go get him, buddy. What do you got? Okay, if it was a Zambuto, that would have been kind of funny. Can I bait you up and over? Go get him, buddy. Watch how your brother does it. Watch how he does the combat and all that. Yes, very good. Nothing could possibly go wrong. It might take him a while. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's try to get that one proper. It might actually display it with 2 losses now, depending. You lost the competition, my friend. Prince Ephraim, it was fun while it lasted. Indeed it was, indeed it was. So, like I said, blood for the blood god. France gets out of here. Have to bring 2 or else you get game overed for doing that. So that is my just reward, my just punishment. I know that I'm mostly coming out of this positive, but I will be benching Mulder henceforth to make my life that much harder. Seth, I could probably go ahead and kill Seth off. I guess I will. It might be hard unless there's an Entombed in here that I could farm, unless maybe one of you guys has Zanbato or Horse Slayer. Well, let's reset this over and over until we get an Entombed that can one-round Seth. It was not this hard to get them earlier. So we'll hopefully get one of those. This is also going to put Natasha down temporarily in terms of how good she is. She's already kind of lacking a bit. Because I don't think Seth has really taken any damage from these guys, just a little bit, and it would take forever. It's also going to make my life way harder completing the new cell map here in a moment. Let's see, maybe I'll save that one for the next episode, for sure, along with the promotions. Really, where are the Entombed? It's been a while. At least Ford is, like, extremely dead now. Okay, there we go, finally got one. What do you got, Axe Reaver? Ooh, that's pretty cool. I mean, honestly, I might go for that if we have the capability to do so, if anybody has weapons. Okay, cool. Yep. Are you moving in? Yeah, okay. Well, in that case, everybody goes somewhere else for a moment while Seth does his little dance. His dance with the Reaper. I guess we'll see what happens here. Might be a little bit. Oh. Well, I guess I got the heavy spear. Well, I guess that's fine. No need to get myself too, you know, good, too well off or anything. Nice little level up there. I'm sure it was a great one. Aw, yeah, good old Seth. Okay, let's turn this off. Just shows how hard it is to get through him. I feel bad doing this. I don't usually let units die even in runs like this, but to go through and, like, properly delete people's supports off of them, I'd have to go through a whole ordeal, and I feel like this is a just punishment for what all I'm doing. It's gonna be a shame to see some perish, but that's how it goes, you know? My apologies. I must withdraw. Yes, indeed you must. Alrighty. Perfect. So we will retreat and save. And listen, if you guys hate how I've done this, just let me know. I mean, maybe don't be mean about it or anything, but if you guys hate how I'm going about this run all of a sudden, that is the entire reason that I saved both of these two play files. So, if it's really just not wanted that I do this, because I'm going to record the next episode right after this one, regardless, because I want to do this. If you guys don't like how I'm doing this, just let me know and we'll go back to doing it the good old-fashioned way with the good old-fashioned supports and whatnot that I've got built up. And we'll just go with the old pathway, the one that I had before. I have no issues with that. I will continue this run on my own, you know, if it so happens to be that you guys would rather do this one, because it doesn't bother me. Whatever you guys would rather see, I'm happy to do. If I have to play this game once with this new pathway off the channel, and then again play it, you know, play the old pathway on the channel and play the new pathway off the channel, I don't mind. I love this game. It's my favorite game of all time. I'm having a great time with it. Do let me know, either in the Discord or in the comments. I leave it in your hands. Just don't get hateful, please. That's all that I ask. It's just a game, you know. I'm just trying to have fun. I know that you guys aren't usually like that, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for that. Hope you enjoyed this episode. This was a almost 3-hour recording with everything in mind. Tune in next time to see the new version, the new pathway into Chapter 10 Turning Traitor. You will see new gameplay with the new roster. I will enlighten you, in a sense, that we're going to be using some units that I don't typically use. I never use Garrick. Sally's in the mix now. Good on you, Roa. I know you predicted Sally at one point. Let's see. Yeah, there's a couple of them in here for sure. And we're going to be using some non-standard classes as well, as you've seen. Ross from Pirate to Warrior, in order to get enough speed to use bows properly. That's a good one. Of course, Garcia Hero. Garrick's going to go Ranger for bows. Ewan's going to go Summoner. That's going to be a fun one. And we're going to have, what was it again? Well, I mean, Natasha Bishop, that's fine. I haven't decided on Tana yet. I don't think it really matters because she's not a mainstay. I've just got her at the moment so that Ephraim for the remainder of the story, you know, has some stuff to do. I'm gonna wind up training up La Rochelle and Erica on the side and just make a support square between Ephraim, Erica, La Rochelle, and Tana. And I'm just gonna roll with it that way. Let's see, because Ephraim and Erica both support La Rochelle and Tana, so they can just link up that way and everything. And that'll be just fine. We'll roll with it. And like I said, that'll get us through the story. I'll continue to bring Tana as a support to Ephraim for story. But I've got a very fun crew in mind for the Lagdo Ruins and the end game, because you can bring quite a few units and everything. So rest in peace, Seth. Rest in peace, Colm. Y'all were real ones. I can't wait. Anyway, enough rambling. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. If you didn't, feel free to dislike. I suppose it's all engagement either way. And I think that's about it. Feel free to become a channel member. You've got another episode right out in front of you if this one is up. Not to mention probably a couple of episodes of Dream of 5, which I'm going to go record after I play this next chapter. And I think that is about it. So, until next time, see you later.